Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a pleasure and an honor to welcome you to this Land Forum, Asia Land Forum, as another stepping stone in the dialogue between civil society and representatives of the government to discuss the important issue of land rights, land tenure, access and management of land.
Ladies and gentlemen, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Good morning.
It is my utmost pleasure that I welcome you all to this conference. Our conference theme is Shaping the Land Agenda in the Philippines. ANGOC has been one of the NGO support groups in the lobbying for the People's Agrarian Reform Code, which was used in crafting the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law. The objective of the morning session today of this Asia Land Forum is to share the Philippines' experiences in the governance of its land sector with the other members of ILC Asia.
From the inception of ILC, we fight for the land rights, meaning we hope to convene all multi-stakeholders in this issue, from the governments, from the intergovernmental organization, and also from the movement itself.
So what they are actually explaining to us is that they have actually the powers and function to pursue issuance of NOCs.
We are also looking at the completion actually of the land and acquisition program of the Department of Agrarian Reform. Because we say that agrarian reform is not just distribution of lands. It also means empowerment of the farmers to make them economic entrepreneurs, no? Or viable entrepreneurs. No? So there is a perception that, government has failed not just in terms of distributing land, but also in providing support services.
Very brief background, this was originally filed by no less than Representative Ted Bagilat. Briefly, what does it have, no? We are filing this bill, we want this bill enacted because it is consistent with the promotion and recognition of the indigenous people's rights under our Constitution, under the United Nations Declaration on Indigenous Rights. What we're saying is that beyond parks and protected areas, we should be able to understand that ICCAs sustain life in this country.
On the part of the Department of Agriculture, we can now begin to initiate the consultative process on this bill so that we can have solid support. I personally would push for this bill primarily because I saw that in my going around the country pursuing birds, particularly endemic birds, that the only substantial areas where we have a lot of conservation and where we have retained a lot of the watersheds that are important for agriculture are those that are within the coverage of our indigenous peoples.
And the thing here is that is true to a lot of our communities in local governments. A lot of our local governments rely very much on national government transfers.
Because everybody is governed and would hold on or would hide behind the long skirt of some legislation that protects their interest, his or her interest.
Just few words, just in conclusion. We need to be more effective in what we do. We need to be more united in what we do. We need to communicate better what we do and why what we do is important, because we have more to do in the forthcoming months and years. Thank you very much to all of you.
Hanggang ngayon, kahit yun ay batas na, nagnanaknak pa rin ang kahirapan doon sa kanayunan. Dahil ang mga lupang sinasaka ng mga magsasaka ay hindi pa tahasang napupunta sa kanila. Hindi lang, pag sinabing magsasaka, hindi lang kami yung magsasaka sa lupa. Marami kayong kasama yung mga isda, magsasaka sila sa dagat. Na kapag kumulo ang dagat, kumukulo rin ang kanilang tiyan. Ang hinihingi lang sa pamahalaan ay ipasa itong kanilang mga hinihiling.
Kung ikaw ay ipinaglalaban mo ang karapatang pantao ng mga magsasaka, then you should also advocate rights of indigenous peoples. If kung sa tingin mo ay we should make sure that there's no conversion of agricultural lands because of food security, then you should be an advocate of the National Land Use Act.
Our cooperation is framed within the Sustainable Development Goals. And of course, in these Sustainable Development Goals, you will find also the call for action in the securing of food production, but not only that, but what was in the statement earlier mentioned, the assurance of human rights and also the insurance of the access and management of natural resources by different sections of the population, and especially the poor, and helping them to lift themselves out of poverty and also maintain their livelihood.
Kung ikaw ay nasa executive branch, napakahirap magpatupad ng mga batas na sagway-sagway. Kung nag-overlap lang yan, simple lang ang problema eh. Pwede mag-usap yung mga ahensya para ayusin yung overlaps. Pero kung yan ay may mga conflicts o mga contradictions, medyo malaki ang problema. Maraming mga inisyatibo na pangkaunlaran ang pamahalaan na hindi matutuloy dahil lamang sa hindi magkasundo kung paano ang interpretasyon ng batas o kaya kung sino ay may mandato ng kung ano.
In support of our members, the membership of ILC in the Philippines is broad. And likely, land governance is an endless process. There is not an arrival point. It's always an evolution, and new challenges are coming and need to be taken care of. And new skills and new competencies need to be built in different sectors, in different areas. There are the state actors on one end, and there are the non-state actors. There is the academia, the research, the think tank, and there are also the citizens. Now more and more the citizens are called to be part of managing and governing land.
Alam nyo ba na halos lahat ng natitirang key biodiversity areas natin o yung mga lugar na nagiging dahilan kung bakit buhay pa tayo, bakit may tubig pa tayo, bakit may natitira pang endemic species sa Pilipinas, kung bakit may kagubatan pa tayo, halos 90% nito ay mga ICCA o Indigenous Community Conserved Areas. Hindi yung mga lalaking programa at proyekto pala ang nag-sustain ng ating buhay. Marami nang nailabas na napakaraming iba't ibang programa locally and globally. However, sa pag-aaral, lumalabas na yung mga pamayanan nangalaga ng mga sagradong lugar, mga simenteryong maliliit, mga lugar na pinagkasunduang bantayan, yaan pala ang bumubuhay sa ating bayan. Hindi lang dito, but even globally.
The Quezon City Declaration on Food Sovereignty. We, the 52 representative of grassroots organizations, people's movements, and CSOs from Bangladesh, Cambodia, India, Indonesia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Mongolia, Nepal, Pakistan, Philippines, and Thailand, gathered in the Quezon City, Philippines on 5th September 2016 during the Asia Land Forum convened by the Asian NGO Coalition for Agrarian Reform and Development, ANGOC, International Land Coalition ILC, and the Philippine Development Forum Working Group on Sustainable Rural Development Forum. By 2050, the global population is expected to rise to 9 billion. Food production needs to increase by 70% to feed the extra 2 billion persons 40 years from now. As CSO members of the International Land Coalition in Asia, we have committed ourselves in pursuing the people-centered land governance as our guiding framework in developing our programs. Towards this end, the CSO participants to the Asia Land Forum 2016 strongly call upon to respect and adhere to the following principles. This will be signed by CSOs from 11 Asian countries present here. Thank you very much.
In the Philippines, the challenges facing agricultural development, as mostly articulated in the Philippines Development Plan, are as follows.
And the last point, no state directly, but multinational companies started to colonize the land, food and agriculture.
And we were the first, one of the first, I suppose, that supported the formulation and the dissemination of the BGGT, arising also from the guidelines of the land policies in Africa.
The World Bank now has defined its twin goals, and this is ending poverty, which means ending extreme poverty by 2030, and is promoting shared prosperity, which means addressing the needs of the bottom 40%.
Above all, we must persist in our course, exactly as the Sumilao farmers did, with dignity, resilience, and certain faith in a just and prosperous future.
We know that Cambodia is a remarkable country for economic growth because tourism, because infrastructure, and also because the agriculture.
The contribution of agriculture in Nepal to GDP is 31.2. It is declining. Rapid urbanization and deforestation have resulted in food insecurity because of lack of land use plan.
There is four of my pointers of notes. It's about the land and rural area problems, and also about the land-related policy, and then market, and also the identity of the farmers, self-sufficiency as the key actors of food sovereignty.
I'm a listener. I'm not a good speaker. I've been living in the rural area as one of the defenders with the landless people and the marginal farmers.
Just to say, I think from the whole day discussion, so there is no disagreement that this art is to produce 70% more within the 40 years to feed 2 billion extra people.
It was a long day and it was lots and lots of information. And unlike you, I have to confess something. I am pretty new to that discussion. The realization that food sovereignty is actually much more a concept that I would like to subscribe to, also in connection with my other work, meaning working in peace and security. Because what it is in the title as well is that you need the defending part of local communities. And now the question is, defending against whom?
I'm so happy to share, hearing first some of the confessions. So I want to confess from myself also on behalf of Indian participants. I'm feeling at times jealous because Philippines, how open they are. We have seen ADB, World Bank, GTI, government officials sharing their information with us, and whatever questions, it may be nonsense, it may be useful questions, but they answered it.